Don, it looked like you had a pretty even period in the first period. Second period, Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen plays great, and you leave the period still 2-1. How are you feeling in the locker room after that with the way he played, and you're still at 2-1?
We didn't give up much in the first. I think we gave up 2 chances, you know, the one that ended up in the net. I don't know if that was a chance, so that was aggravating in itself. And obviously, you lose, and you lose the way it happened is extremely aggravating and extremely disappointing. And I'm not talking about our players. It just what transpired there is disappointing.
Just given the timing, Don, I know you want to stick up for your players, but do you regret the way that you handled it, or do you feel good about saying something at that point, given all that had gone on in the game up to that point?
Lance, you don't feel good about anything when you don't win a hockey game. Do I regret anything? You know, what I watched transpire in that game, you know, from 1 minute before the incident where they gave Greenway a double minor, Cousins goes into Greenway. Cousins on their team. The whistle blows, initiates it by going a shoulder into Greenway's chest. Then has his hands up and protects himself. It goes down, and they give Greenway 4. Like, Greenway gets 4 out of it. That's just not right. That's hard to watch. And a minute before that, you watch Krebs take punches to the head with no call whatsoever, with linesmen in between, and he's still taking punches to the head. And the second guy come in and pull his helmet off, no call. So that's extremely frustrating. At some point, you get, and then obviously the one that another one that wasn't right for me. Greenway or Benson's going after a puck, has a tug, gets pushed down and ends up tripping Mikkola. There's another player involved in that too. So very, very tough night in regard to that. At some point, you gotta stand up for your team. You're put in that position as a coach. It's a tough position to be in, but you can't sit and watch. You watch so much, and at some point, you got to stand up for your team. You do.
Does it make it even tougher when you know what type of game it's going to be against that team, and then it compounds with some of the calls?
Absolutely, it makes it tough because it's you know, this is, you know, you go out there, you play to win, and I thought our guys were very, very focused on that, and again, you're feel like you're put in a position that you got to stand up for them. So they play hockey. So absolutely frustrating.
Even though you guys were put in a challenging spot, Don, and citing the examples we all saw, how do you balance that with just making sure that the group doesn't use that as an excuse, right, when it comes to the process? And
there's no excuse, Lance. They want to win, and they know they can win. You know, I've said it to you guys a month and a half ago. We're in a different place right now, mentally, with our psyche. Our guys know, they know how to win. They've matured through lots of adversity and challenge this year, and they're dialed in. And you know, I don't think that's going to change. I think they've learned a lot, gone through a lot this year, gained a lot of experience, and their appetite is increasing. And I think we're all watching that, and I think we could all see that. And so I don't have any worry about that with our group, with this group specifically.
After the second goal, it looked like Eric Johnson wasn't out there. What was kind of the reasoning behind that?
Yeah, he obviously, you know, not feeling his normal self, and you know, we'll leave it at that. Obviously, challenging, but just not himself right now.
How did he kind of handle that? Obviously, he's been around.
Yeah,
a while.
I mean, he wants to do more and help the team, but you know, when you're not feeling as well as you could be, then it's tough.
He is healthy, though.
Yeah, he's
relatively.
Yeah, so that's a relative term in the National Hockey League, but yeah.
Kyle says when you play that team, you got to put your big boy pants on, and you got to be ready because they're going to be coming at you. And he goes, they're a good hockey team. He felt a lot of guys did, but he said some guys didn't. He goes, he'd like to see maybe more, you know, be that way. Did you feel the same way too?
No disappointment in really any guy. Again, there was, you know, the game could have went the other way. So I'm not going to sit here and you know, talk something negative about one of our guys in that regard. I think they all competed and competed to win. My frustration is not our players, I tell you that.
It seems like these calls go against Zach Benson kind of frequently, because not just the tripping, but the holding earlier in the game. How do you kind of keep his head in the right space when he plays the game a certain way, and it seems like,
Well, I'm glad you brought that up and not me. That's all.